Al Jazeera, with its line of fireproofing products or intumescent paints, would like to share you its objective in picturing more lives and preserve more assets. In a way of cooperating with the firefighters, Al Jazeera adapt the passive fire protection system, which is a system that's been designed to control the spread of fire. But to render this system more efficient, the implementation with other systems are necessary. For example, to give the people education in how to minimize the ignition sources, to adapt active fire protection system, for example, to have sprinklers in your buildings or property. The third system, which is the passive fire protection system, which is a system that's designed to control the spread of fire inside the building, and also it's delay the heat transfer from the fire source to the substrate of the steel structures. And here there are three types, or an example of the passive fire protection: intumescent coating, silicates board, and cement vermiculite. So the goals of the passive fire protection, first of all, to give the people evacuation time, to provide safe escape routes during the evacuation, and also it will help the firefighters to reach the building or the property before it's totally destroyed. To construct your building, as we know, you have to follow the local regulation or building regulation and the requirements of the fire or the fire requirement resistance. And here an example of the building regulation from the UK, which said the internal fire spread, the building shall be designed and constructed so that in the event of fire, its stability will be maintained for a reasonable period. Though the building regulation does not indicate any evacuation time or fire resistance rating for the fireproofing products, we do have several test standards that has been designed to determine the fire rating for the fireproofing product under the cellulosic fire. As you can see, the two globally accepted or recognized tests, the BS test, which is the British standard, the BS 476, and the UL standard, which is American standards. And there are another standards has been designed for a specific area or specific countries. And to sell the intumescent paint or the intumescent coating legally in the market, you have to test your product, or you have to test the intumescent paint at one of the global recognizable third-party laboratory, which is the UL laboratory or the Wellington Fire Research Center laboratory. And after your product or the product meet their standard, later on your product or the product will be certified and you can sell it legally in the market. The intumescent coating, it's a paint when you apply it, or a coat when you apply it over the steel structure and the source to, or the fire source to the substrate of the steel structure. And also there are a blowing agent that release during the fire, which is inflammable gases to control the spread of fire. The characteristic of the intumescent paints, it has a very smooth finish, which is a decorative finish, and also it's lightweight when you compare it with the cement vermiculite. And also it takes up very little space, low extra weight, and off-site application makes fast. Here is a comparison between the unprotected steel and the protected steel. As I have mentioned before, if the unprotected steel starts to be exposed to fire, it can reach the critical temperature, which is 550 centigrades in only 5 minutes. And then it's rapidly increased to 920 and 25 centigrades. But for the protected steel, it takes time to reach the critical temperature, which is the 550 centigrades, up to 2 hours. It takes 2 hours to reach the critical temperature, which we can reach it in only 5 minutes for the unprotected steel. The intumescent paint can be applied over columns, beam, and circular hollow and also rectangular hollows. But to find the optimum thickness, of the paint to be applied over the steel structure, you have to find out the ratio of the heated parameter, or the ratio of the section factor, which is the heated parameter. To calculate the heated parameter, and you divide it over the cross-sectional area of the steel sides, and after that you take the result of the HP over A, and you go to specific table you receive it either from the UL or from the EXOBA Fire Research Center, and you can find where the HP over A located, or your HP over A located, to find the thickness that required across the demand time that required for protection. And we will show you the table later in this presentation. This is the way how to calculate the HP over A. It's the HP represented by the red lines, and the cross-sectional represented by the black shade. After you calculate the heated parameter, which directly exposed to fire, and you divide it over the cross-sectional area, you will have the result of the section factor. And then you take the result of the section factor and you go to specific table to find out the optimum thickness you will need for your structural steel. For a general idea, if the HP is high and the cross-sectional is low, you will require more thickness for protection, to protect this steel side. And if your HP is low and the cross-sectional is high, you will require less thickness for your structural steel. And also the HP over A also change according with the number of sides exposed to fire. From this slide, we will present for you Al Jazeera Fire Dam 263, which is the intumescent or Al Jazeera intumescent paint. Al Jazeera Fire Dam 263 is a high-performance, solvent-based, high-solids acrylic intumescent fire-proofing coating designed only for structural steel. It has been designed to be applied only for structural steel and highly recommended for application used in steel works like beams, columns, and hollow sections for protection from a cellulosic fire. The characteristic of the Fire Dam 263, it's a thin film, single pack coating, easy application with a good aesthetic